Prakash Rao is a distinguished former outstanding scientist at ISRO. Served as a director of Space Infrastructure Program and with 37 years of experience. Mr. Rao has played a vital role in the key satellite projects and was instrumental in ISRO's commercial spacecraft venture. He chaired the PMC of a significant student satellite mission and conducted workshops in various places. He was a faculty member of ISRO's internal training program. He's an ISRO Merit Awardee. Put your hands together and welcome our speaker, Mr. Prakash Rao.
So I will be talking about the Indian space odyssey, how India has progressed from a small phase of sounding rockets to the phase where we have landed on the moon and now aiming for the sun. And before that, I would like to really congratulate and thank the organizers of AVOTECH 2023. One is, of course, it is bringing various technologies together. That is one part. But more importantly, there is a noble aim behind this mission, Mission 1000, for which they want to support, and that's how this whole event is conceived. So I would like to really thank and compliment the organizers of AVOTECH 2023 for this wonderful initiative, and thank you, sirs, for making me part of this initiative. Yeah. So before I start, actually, the Indian space program, it started with the vision of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai that it is for the purpose of a common man. So how do we benefit common man from the various programs of space and society? So that was the interest with which, when it started, say 50 years back or so. So this is the basic aim. But subsequently, of course, India has progressed. Our prosperity has gone up. I think most of it, especially in the last 2 decades or so, due to the IT sector, so much of employment opportunities, so many middle class people or lower middle class families have become affluent and rich. I think that is mainly, at least my personal feeling is that it is due to the growth of IT sector. Earlier it was manufacturing sector based, but after IT sector, several middle class people could aim higher and reach higher. So, and most of the sessions in this particular conference are also aimed towards all the advanced technologies in the field of information technology. So that's also one of the happiest things for me. But the prosperity which this has brought to India, and India is becoming slowly a growing economy, has allowed us to take higher initiatives and to move further than just aiming for common man or benefit, but go beyond that and try to set some ambitious goals like Mission Chandrayaan, in future Gaganyaan, and they will have some societal applications also, but both the things, I think this is what is what. So before I go into Chandrayaan directly, I think because some of you may be uninitiated, why at all we have to go to space? When things can be done on ground, why you have to go to space? So this is what I would like to tell, and I would like to explain in a way where people who do not know anything, I am not talking for the very high level of technologists, but for people who are little unaware or students like that. So first, the advantage is, compared to you, I am standing at a height. So I can see all of you. Same thing, the first row, if you stand, you will not be able to see. So when you go to a higher height, you are able to get a larger coverage. So that is the basic advantage. Even if you see old these ones and all, watchtower in any city, there will be, or forts especially. Forts are as such on hills, and on that there will be watchtowers. From there they will be watching all around the city, who is coming, who is going, all that, or lighthouses. And in Bahubali also you can see, when so many enemies are there to destroy soldiers, what he does, some big carpet like thing where they will put some fire or whatever it is and reach it from a very height, they will take and then spread. So the idea of going to a higher height is basically to get higher and higher coverage. And other is the obstacle free. When we go to marriages, we see drones and all. Earlier, photographers used to come and tell, sir, you move this side, this side. Now drones have come. So there is no disturbance because there are no obstacles. When you want to observe from space, you are going much, much, much higher. So that is the advantage. And unaffected by natural disasters. whatever may happen on earth, it could be an earthquake, it could be a calamity, it could be say floods. If you want to get the realistic situation, recently Canada forest fire was there. You cannot go into the fire and see what is the damage happening, but from a spacecraft you can observe without getting disturbed and not restricted by borders. It's not that otherwise earlier all James Bond and all, now the era of James Bond and all that is gone, or very, very limited, because you are able to see what is happening in the enemy territory by viewing from space. And privacy and security. Any institution, if it is on the ground, any infrastructure, depending on the type of that is there, a person with one AK-47 or a group of people can come and attack. We have seen even the Pentagon also was trying to be attacked by one aeroplane or whatever it is. Okay, Twin Towers we have seen. So ground infrastructure is prone to attacks from few spirited individuals. But here it is not so easy to destroy an asset in the space, because of course there are like Mission Shakti we also demonstrated, but it needs the efforts from a big country or a big setup. So that is different from being vulnerable to attack from anybody who wants to attack. So that way the space assets offer a very good privacy as well as security aspects. And repeativity. Suppose there is something is happening, troop movement is there, you want to observe every day. Daily if you want to go and survey by road means, or even if by helicopter or something, if you go and survey, even drones you take, how many sorties you have to make? And you want to get hour to hour update, or you want to get a lot of continuous visibility. So it is not feasible, practical by means of terrestrial or even by aeroplane or helicopter like that. When space, when you go to 500 kilometers, 600 kilometers, and if you have some few number of satellites in different planes, then it is possible to have a continuous coverage. Or yesterday troops were here, today something is there, what happened, you want to go back and see. All those flexibilities are available by going into the space. What are the disadvantages? Nothing, no pains, no, everything will come with a price. So lesser clarity. You see, I can see more people, but I will see less features. Correct? So clarity will be less, resolution, the volume, everything will come down. And signal will be lost as you are, unless I don't have this mic, the person there cannot be able to hear me. So unwanted signal along with wanted. As your coverage area is increasing, beyond what you want, there is so much which we don't want, all that also will come to the spacecraft. And environmental effects. The space itself is having an environment which I will talk about, and costs, of course, when you want to do such things. But overall, if you see, instead of one spacecraft may cost few hundreds of crores or 1,000 crores, or even NISR, which we are going to launch along with NASA together, ISRO NASA's mission, that costs 10,000 crores. And NASA has sent recently James Webb Space Telescope, that is the costliest mission on the space, that is 1 lakh crores. Okay? So this is the type of cost that will be there, but there are advantages also. The capabilities which otherwise are not there, you are able to get. And over 15 years, if a satellite is there, and for 15 years if it is serving, the same thing if you want to do on ground, it will be much, much more expensive. So though an individual spacecraft cost may appear high, but there is a, when you really see the economics of it, it will be very sensible to go for space. So these are all the reasons because of which space technology is used. Then what are the applications? Is it only for watching sun and moon that we are having as Indian Space Research Organization? As I told, it is to benefit the common man and society. So where are all the things? So again, here communications, when you take everything, the TV that you have watched yesterday using Dish TV or Tata Sky or whatever you are having, that is directly from satellite you are getting the things. Okay? Like that, audio communications, video, especially now data is everything. It is data driven world, correct? Half of your seminar is aimed towards data. Okay? So this data driven world, so how do you get data to inaccessible places, all those things. So communications, it will be very, very useful. Then comes the remote sensing. This is one which we directly you will not be knowing, but everything that is happening, how much of river water is there in India today if you want. Just take some satellite map of all the river belt, okay. See, you can estimate the amount of water that is there. If a river has dried up, you will come to know within few minutes how much has happened. Or forest fire, like I have told. From a remote, from a distance, we are sensing. And earth resources also. What is there at a particular place also, by keeping appropriate sensors, we can be knowing the things. And the ability to view areas not filling all. And observation of land and sea. I don't know how many of you know, fishermen when they are going, now they take help from satellite maps, because of which there is a ocean sat we are having. So you will be able to see which area the fish is more, because fish naturally wherever food is there, algae or whatever it is more, the fish will be going there. It is called fish schools. So all the fish will be going towards that. So fishermen will get that information from satellite map, and they can some of the things. So here this is what you are seeing here is an Antonov aircraft. Okay. Yeah, this is an Antonov aircraft in which you can see a metro coach is being transferred. So this is an aircraft actually during recent Ukraine war, 2 of the aircrafts were bombed. Okay, because of that all over the world some launches have to be postponed, because spacecrafts have to be transported from their place to the launch site. So you can see here again, so this is there. So the whole, this is a container inside which spacecraft is there. Okay, so from there it will be there. These are all cargo aircrafts. And here, okay, our own Indian satellite, where I am also there here in the middle. Okay, so this was transported to Kourou, that is French Guiana, in Brazil, nearby Brazil. So there we have brought, and this is inside of the spacecraft, the last picture at the bottom. So why I am showing you this is, this spacecraft when you transport, we have launched, we have removed our spacecraft and we have put, but Arianespace when they launch, they will put 2 spacecrafts together because it can lift 10,000 kg. Our satellite is 4,000 kg. So another satellite of 6,000 kg they were getting from Japan, but their transport, next day it came, their spacecraft, and they have transported, and when they opened the tarpaulin on that, the cover, they saw that their container is, this is not the container, but their container became like sand hourglass, that kind of shape. So why it happened? Because normally whenever we fly, we are flying in a compartments which are pressurized. That's why they will tell cabin ke pressure mein dabav kam khone se aapka upar aas ki janmas ka aayega, all that will come. But all those systems will not be there in the cargo aircraft, this one, because idea is to lift more and more weights, correct? You want to transport more load, payload, so that's why they will not be there. Here what happened, when the aircraft takes off and when it lands, there will be a difference in the pressure between outside to the inside. So that pressure difference can cause, even a bottle you take it from a top of a mountain, on the hills you go, and just drop an empty bottle, by putting the cap you drown, its shape will change because of the pressure difference from top to bottom. Okay, so then all spacecrafts it should become, why it has become. So it's not that but we provide something called breather walls all around. There will be walls which will be sensing the pressure difference between inside and outside, and they will be gradually opening and closing. Okay, so this gradual opening and closing will allow the pressure to equalize between inside of the container to the outside, because of which, okay. Now here what happened, just before they were transporting, I think it was a military spacecraft or something, so someone told why all this should be done, you cover it with a tarpaulin. It was not original planned. So all breathers was over, they covered it with a very tight tarpaulin they have put, and they transported. They should have removed the tarpaulin before loading into the aircraft, but they loaded along with that. Okay. Now what happened, because you have got breather, all that is fine, but you have tightly wrapped, then there is no place to breathe. So the breather valves didn't function, the total container has lost its shape, and inside, to know whether spacecraft inside has got damaged or not, it took 3 days, because first they have to drill holes. While drilling hole, you may damage something inside. So where to drill hole itself, with the computer aided drawings and all you have to take, identify the places where harmlessly you can do some drilling of the holes. then sent some very observations, some cameras and all. Finally, they decided that the spacecraft has got severely damaged inside. So the impact is, for them they have to go back and come back. They took 2.5 years or 3 years to come back for some thousands of crores satellite. And there's okay, you have done mistake, jaise karni vaise bharni. But here we had to wait because we have a co-passenger now who is not ready. Now Ariane will not fly just 4,000 kg or a 10,000 kg vehicle. So we have to, till we found a suitable co-passenger, it had to be. So here the thing is, what the bottom line is, devil is in the detail. Pay attention to detail. So for a space program or anything that you want to do, if you want to be successful in whatever you do, the most important is there is nothing called trivial. There is nothing called a minor detail. Every detail is important. The role of a screw or a nut, we know all, even Lord Karna's chariot has shrunk at that time because one screw or whatever, I am not exactly able to tell in immediately, but it was removed, the irusu they call. So that has come out slowly, and so it can make you a win or lose a war. Okay. So paying attention to detail is very important. This is true in our real life also. Devil is in the detail. Please pay attention to detail. In whatever you do, this aspect you please remember.